So Real Broker and eXp Realty have changed a lot over the last couple of years. So much so that it's now time to do an updated Real Broker versus eXp debate for 2025. So today I'm bringing on my friend Melanie Montague, who I first met working at Keller Williams Realty with her years ago. And we're going to do a friendly side-by-side comparison of where the two companies are today. So we're going to cover the cost and fees, the stock incentives, the training, the technology, and the rev share. Melanie, how you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Malcolm. Great to see you again. I'm so excited to do this. This is always fun. I've always appreciated you and all the things and the knowledge that you share. I think this is fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. This should be fun. We've done this once before about a year ago. The video did really well. And I think, we're at two separate cloud brokerages, and it doesn't mean we still can't collaborate and share and kind of help each other out. Well, I'll let you go first. Let's start off with cost and fees. What can you kind of run through the cap, the fees that you pay at eXp Realty for an agent?
Yeah, so absolutely. Let's talk about that. So at eXp, where it's an 80-20 split for every single agent. When you come in, doesn't change no matter how much you've done or how much you don't do. It's an 80-20 split across the board. And everyone has a $16,000 cap unless you're on a real estate team. If you're on a team, you can have an 8,000 cap, so a half cap. The team leader has a full cap, and everybody else can have a half cap. And then we have another setup as well, where when you get to a certain level, a certain number of producing agents, you can elect to have a quarter cap for your team, but you are obligated to pay the total cap for the entire team if you don't meet that. So that's something that a lot of people don't do. They just choose to stay in the arena of just the 80-20, 16,000, 8,000. That's typically what we're seeing.
Okay.
So our standard cost when you come on to eXp, it's $149 as a startup fee, a one-time fee only, $85 a month as your brokerage fee, $25 transaction fee, and a $60 risk management that caps at $500. So once you've paid your $500 in for your risk management, then you're capped out.
Okay. I just want to confirm. So your $250 transaction fee, you don't pay that while you're paying the 80-20, right? It's an 80-20 or the $250 transaction fee?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And our fees do change when you go to icon status. So once you become an icon, then some of your fees will definitely change for you. Your transaction fee becomes $75.
All right, cool. Well, let me run through Real Broker's fees as well. So we have an 85-15 split with a $12,000 cap. We have a one-time $249 sign-up fee. We have a $30 E&O insurance fee per transaction across the board. And then we have a $750 annual fee, and this gets taken out of your first 3 transactions of the year, $250, $250, and $250. We also, after you cap, you don't pay the 85-15 split anymore. You keep 100% of your commission, but then you do start paying a $285 transaction fee. That is until you hit Elite Agent. After you hit Elite Agent, that transaction fee drops to $129 per transaction for you and your entire team. And so a Real Broker, if you are a team leader, your team members can get a half a cap as well of $6,000. And then if you're doing over $100 million a year in volume with at least 12 agents on your team, you can qualify for a third cap of $4,000 per agent as well. And that's equivalent to eXp's quarter cap. So they're both $4,000 for these kind of top mega teams. So let's talk about stocks. What kind of incentives does eXp have? I think off the top of my head, I think there's 5 ways to earn free stock at the company.
With stocks, yeah. So let's talk about the stocks. So there's ways of making where eXp will give you stock options. So you can either buy it, you can elect into the 5% plan, where for every commission for every property that you sell, 5% of that money will go towards buying stocks at a 10% discount for you. And then that becomes something that you purchase. And that can be set up or not set up, whatever you choose to do. When you first sign on as eXp on your first transaction, you get a $200 gift of eXp stock. You get $400 of eXp stock when you cap, and then $400 of stock for directly attracting another agent that signs on when they close their first transaction. transaction. Now, here's the one thing about stocks, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit later, and this goes into the cap, because our $16,000 cap, once you become an icon, you can earn that $16,000 back, but it comes back as stock options to you, and you have to do certain activities and be engaged in certain things within the company in order to earn that stock back. And I will say that what's interesting about that is it's actually very inviting, because you do get to connect with people all over the globe and all of the United States and stuff, to really talk about different things that you're seeing, learning opportunities, teaching opportunities, which is really enhancing your business as well.
Okay. And so that 16,000, that's broken up into 3 separate rewards, right? So you mind talking a little bit about that? Like how you actually earn all 16,000 of that?
Yes. So once you become an icon, you're able to get 8,000, and then you get 4,000 back by meeting icon status, the cultural requirements. So you've got to do different things, be a part of meetings, different things like that. And then you also can get the remaining amount by going to an approved event. That would be like eXp Con or something in your local market, or our rallies, our local rallies that you have. So you're able to get your money, or your 16,000 back, as stock awards.
Okay. And so it says $2,000 per approved event. And so you essentially have to go to 2 different events a year in order to get that full $4,000 for that.
Right. So we have the eXp Con, which is our big event each year. And then we have these rallies. We'll have one in Pennsylvania. We'll have one closer to us at home, maybe Washington, D.C., something like that. Then we can participate in that and go to those places. Or there's different things that you can do within the region that would be approved.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Real Broker, we also are publicly traded. Real and eXp are actually the only 2 companies that are publicly traded, cloud brokerages that are publicly traded. And a couple benefits to that. One is like all of our finances are published quarterly. So we have a level of transparency that other brokerages, cloud brokerages don't have. And so eXp has 5 ways of earning free stocks. We have 4 ways. Some of them are a little bit higher though. And so we have, the first one is going to be the stock purchase plan. Anybody can opt into this, and you can put 5% of your commission towards buying stock in Real Broker, and Real Broker give you a 10% bonus on top of that before you cap. After you cap, you can put 10% of your commission towards buying stock in the company. Real Broker give you a 20% bonus on top of that purchase. What I like about this is anybody can do this. So even if you close 1 deal a year, you can still, opt into this and earn some free stock. The second way is by capping. When you cap, currently you earn 150 shares of stock. Right now, the stock's worth about $5. So it's about $750 worth of free stock for capping. And then when you attract an agent, when they close their first transaction, you earn 75 shares of stock in the company for attracting that agent. That's the third way. And then the fourth way is with our elite agent. And so with our elite agent, for you to qualify that, we have ours broken up into 2 separate awards, a performance award of $16,000 and a culture award of $8,000. So what you need to do is first cap with the company, and that we have a $12,000 cap. And then you need to pay $6,000 in post-cap transaction fees. We have a 285 transaction fee, so that works out to about 21 transactions after you cap. And you'll hit the performance award and be awarded $16,000 in free stock, and you're eligible for the culture award. The second way you can hit the performance award is if you earn over $500,000 in GCI with at least 10 completed transactions of a sales price over $1 million each. That'll earn you that as well. And then another cool thing is that this $6,000 post-cap transaction fee, that is, if you're a team leader, whatever percentage split you're getting with your team members, if it's 50-50, 50% of their transaction fee gets counted towards your transaction fee cap as well. So if you're a team leader, it's even easier to hit this. Now, to get the cultural award, you need to hit the performance award first. And then typically what people do is they just teach a class once a month in the Real Academy. That's the most common way. You lead a mastermind, you teach a class, and this is kind of how we incentivize our top performers to actually give back to the community and provide training to agents as well. So altogether, that's $24,000 in free stock. You can earn that every single year. And like eXp, all of our free stock has a 3-year vesting period as well. All right, so the next category I want to cover is going to be like training and community. Mel, how is like training handled at eXp? How do you guys kind of tap into that community? What kind of events do you guys have every year as well?
Yeah, absolutely, Malcolm. We have events. We have the eXp Con, which is a really big event every year. That's where a lot of new announcements are made. You can get there, touch people, feel people, so to speak, and learn directly from people on stage. That's something that you can do in person. We also have local rallies. They found that they were getting a better attendance by having people come to the rallies, which were more like central to a lot of the agents in like bigger cities, and they could attract a lot of people for a 1-day event. It was easier to attract a lot of people to that and get that education and get that information that they're wanting to get. Also, we have our eXp World, which has over 70 classes every single week virtually that you can go to the arena and you can take whatever class you want across the board that they're offering. And these are taught by other agents. These are taught by mentors. These are taught by all kinds of people within eXp. And this is all free to agents. All you have to do is just show up. And that is in our world that we have. That's our virtual world. Also, I'm a part of a larger group that was built in our area. And they offer a lot of coaching, a lot of classes once a week or twice a week, depending on what they're doing. And it's like with the local people. So like, let's just say you wanted to learn about investing. You wouldn't have to go to the world for that. You could go to more local people right here in our arena where you're located and then get some coaching and stuff from them and education from them. So that's like little breakouts that people have created, which is very helpful. The community is great. It's strong and they're very helpful. It's a lot different than where we came from, Malcolm, where it was like, hush, hush, secret. It's like share. How much can I share with you? The more I can share with you, the better you're going to be. And it's like a big family. So that's the main portions of education that we have.
Yeah, I love that. And so like the training that you get from your upline, are these mostly like videos, like YouTube videos embedded on a website somewhere? Like is off platform. Is that right?
So it's off platform. It's not YouTube videos. There are some, but for the most part, they're live. They're live, like Zoom trainings. Come, let's all get together like a mastermind. So if you want to join it, that topic that week or that month, then yes, absolutely, you can do that. Some of these are in person. They'll have in-person events around, like you have any other company where you have somebody, they'll say, hey, I'm going to put on this big show, right? Kind of a thing. So that happens as well. If you want to join that, that's up to you. But that's pretty much how it works.
Okay. And then the eXp World, did I hear you guys came out with an eXp World app so that you can get the training on your phone? And I think eXp
Yes.
World got upgraded to be in the browser now instead of a downloaded software. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. So it's much easier to get into, it didn't have to load on your computer, which is what it was at first. You're like, okay. But now, yes, it's so easy to get into. And I mean, with the world, I will say, and I think that you all at Real have the same type of thing, the access to information about our company is very easy to find. It's very easy to get in touch with somebody that can answer your questions, whether it's your broker, whether it's somebody about a benefit that we may offer or just a how-to. They have virtual meeting rooms. There's all kinds of things in our world that makes it simple to connect, but also get answers, where I can say in the past, it was never that easy before with the traditional brokerage that we came from. It was always like getting to somebody, then to somebody, and then waiting days for a response. It's as simple as going online and pulling a ticket, signing in, and you get your answer within a couple of minutes.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Cool. All right. Yeah. So Real Broker, we have our Real Academy, and this is where all of our training is housed. It's all in your browser, so it's easily accessible. You can watch the Real training classes on your phone as well. So we have over 200 online classes in there. We have over 24 reoccurring masterminds and over 30 live streams a week, every single week. And with our elite agent program, it incentivizes the top producers and the top agents in the company to give back. And one of the kind of distinguishing things between Real and eXp is At eXp, we're not allowed to provide training exclusively to our downline or exclusively to our network. And so, for example, I teach 5 classes a month in the Real Academy. I just taught one today, and it's open to everybody in the company. And so this is kind of one of the distinguishing things between the two models. We don't have a world. We don't have a virtual world like eXp does. We do have a program called Work Vivo, which is sort of like a social media platform and it's really how you tap into that community. Just like a lot like Facebook, I think eXp is using Workplace, which is a similar thing of how to tap into that community. We have 2 major events a year. We have our Rise conference every year, 2-day event. It kind of moves city. And then we have the Real Summit, which is another big event. And then we have a lot of individual, smaller 1-day events as well, kind of being put on by agents. And if we kind of have some training on how to put on these 1-day events, if they get them big enough, Sharon, the president, or Tamir, the CEO, will actually speak at these events. So we have a bunch of these kind of throughout the year. I've spoken at a few of these. And then we have our Real Academy Roadshow, where Drew, who's in charge of the Real Academy, he's been traveling around the country and putting on 1-day training events as well. So a lot of ways to kind of get that in-person training, in-person community from the agents here. So yeah, I'm really happy with the training that we have here. I think both companies provide better training than we ever got at a brick and mortar. What's really interesting about our training models is when you're at a brick and mortar, you're only getting training from agents that are directly in your market center and directly competing against you. So this model of like getting training from people in different market centers where you can copy what's working in their market center, apply it to your city, it's a game changer. It's completely different.
Well, so and I will also say, I just want to piggyback on that a little bit. I think that with both of our companies, both of our leaders, the people who have started these companies are very hands-on and just very down-to-earth, real people. So like you said, like they'll come to a training, and it's not unusual to go to an event. Like we would go to big events before, and the leadership was untouchable. They would be, they were. And I understand it's not a knock at them in any shape or form. The last time that I was out at an event, I came down and Glenn Sanford's just right there. It's just, hey, how are you? Shaking hands, just like any other Joe Schmo in the world. And I think that really, when you talk about community, that really brings in the community feel, that we're all in the same arena, right? And I think that that's interesting. And I also want to mention, I don't know if you were going to touch on this, eXp also has with training, and we have a bunch of different sort of categories that they've developed, such as the luxury platform. It's added on if you want to be a part of that because you're into luxury. You do pay a fee to be a part of it. I believe it's $2,500. And then you get all of the benefits of luxury. You get coaching, you get weekly masterminds, you get, they are now affiliated with a website, and then they're also marketed to 5 very top elite marketing platforms for the luxury home. So it puts the luxury for eXp in a different category than a lot of other companies. And then we have the affinity, which is the REO, which is relocation and referrals. So they have different people. Like when we do a relocation, we contact the lady at the relocation department of eXp. She reviews everything and makes sure that we're building great relationships with these companies outside, and we're doing things, well. So if the nice thing is like you say, is like, you have the revenue share, you have all of these ways of making income if you choose. We've developed within eXp all of these other avenues that attract other people for what they want to do. And you don't have to do it, or you can do it. We also have the military side of it as well. So if you're military, you can be in there and you're part of a special group that really gears towards just military.
Yeah, I love that. And so this is one area that I think eXp does have more divisions than we do. So right now we have two divisions. We have our luxury division, and it's the same thing. It's exclusive training. You have to qualify to get into it. Exclusive marketing materials, partnerships with websites. Some really cool stuff with that. And then we have a real military division as well, where we have exclusive training and branding and marketing materials and training on how to work with service members and that sort of stuff. And then we do have other divisions kind of in the pipeline that will be coming our way. But right now, those are our two main divisions that we have. One thing I'd like to talk about with training is like mentorship. So you guys have a mentorship program. You mind talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, so you have to qualify for it in the sense of you sign up for it, they train you. And so if you are a mentor, you are deemed to be a mentor, then basically what happens is then you're expected to mentor new agents or any agents coming into the company. So you will help them, guide them, coach them through their first 3 transactions. Of course, the agent's going to pay you a small fee out off of their commission in order for your time, energy, and effort. The nice thing about this program is you're not coming into this giant company that has no brick and mortar, that has no person that you can just reach out and touch. And it gives you somebody you can reach out and touch. And they're actually involved. They're not just a phone call or in the world. They're literally somebody that's holding your hand through the first 3 transactions. And they actually become mentors for these people longer than just those 3 transactions. It really creates like a base, and they become somebody that this person trusts and does a lot of work with. Sometimes they even are people who join their team if that person has a team. So people use it in different ways. If you're trying to grow a team, it's a great way to kind of vet people to grow a team. I'm not a mentor, but I've seen it because I have my own team and I need to mentor them and not others. So I see that, in that capacity, it would be a big pull for me, but it is a great thing to have. I was a mentor at the previous company that we had or that we worked with. And, there really wasn't a true defined mentor program. It was kind of like, okay, here's somebody and take them, and work with them. So this is designed around growth, teaching somebody how to be successful in the business.
Yeah, I love that. Do you know what the percentage is that they charge on?
I do not know, and I apologize. I should know. I'm not a mentor. I want to say it's like, it's a scale, right? It's probably going to be like 20, 15, 10, something like that off of, the thing. But don't quote me on that. But I could find out and give that to you.
It's all right. So
I'm going to see if I can find it in my app.
All right. I'll tell you about Real's mentorship program, and you can fact check yourself while you're doing that. So Real, we launched a mentorship program last year as well. Ours is completely optional for agents to opt into it if they want to. And you do have to apply to become a mentor. You need certain production requirements. What I like about ours is that you get to choose your mentor. And so you can kind of browse and read a profile on the different mentors, find one that's a good fit for you. And the mentor gets to set what price they want to charge of the next 3 transactions. So for example, I know a lot about YouTube. I could say, hey, I'm a YouTube expert. Here's everything I've done, all my credibility, but I want 50% of your next 3 transactions and I'll be your mentor. Or somebody could say, look, I'm just going to give you weekly accountability calls and I can help you fill out your contracts. And, I'm going to charge 10% to be your mentor. So you get to kind of choose which mentor you want to work with and like what price range you're comfortable with. And I think it's really cool because somebody could really specialize on some skill set and charge a higher premium for that. And the mentorship's cool because it's like coaching, but you don't pay up front. You only pay if it actually works, if you actually close the transaction. So I think it's a really good option for a lot of folks.
All right. So fact check, 20% 3 times. That's it. Straight up 20%.
There we go. I like it. All right. What about support? How is support done at eXp? That's a big one for a lot of folks. When you have questions.
So support would be, I think like with any company, there's always the people who kind of fall through the cracks, no matter what somebody does, and I think there's not a way to solve that 100%. With eXp, the support is you come into a mentor program, right? So you're assigned to somebody. But also if you join a team, there's the team lead, you have the world, you also have our brokers. So with our brokers, we have 3 acting brokers in Maryland. I want to say acting. They are managing brokers is the technical term. Mm-hmm. And literally I have all 3 cell phone numbers in my phone. So if I need something from them, I can get in touch with them. If I can't get in touch with them on the world, which is where they always are, on their times, but after hours, weekends, holidays, you can get in touch with somebody for support. Now, if it's other support that you need, you can go into the world and get the other support you need. Or if you're a part of a larger group that is outside of that eXp walls, like the one that I'm a part of, I can go to them, and I lean on them a lot because I'm like, who do you know that I can talk to about this? If it's something that is really about transactions or, a referral or whatever it might be, right? Then that's more of like the educational side. When it comes to the broker side, the technical side of it, protecting us as agents, and that you can go directly to your broker and you can get them. I mean, never had a company that I worked at that I could get the broker like this, literally.
Mhm.
And they know you. I mean, as many agents as they're working with, they know you, and they welcome you to events. You come to events. They do put on events locally. So there's a lot of things that they do to really make you feel like you're not on an island by yourself and that you're a part of this brokerage.
Cool. Cool. I love that. Good. That's really good to hear, because a lot of people say that, the support is you have to log into eXp World to get it. So it's great that you've got all three of their phone numbers. You just call them. Yeah. And so a real broker, yeah, we have a designated broker that we put on our contracts, and we have managing brokers within the states. So some states have 2, 3, 4 managing brokers, and I can just pull up my phone here, the agent app, and I can find their contact information, and I can call, email, text my designated brokers when I need support from them. And we also have a support line when I have bigger real broker questions like, hey, where's my paycheck, or what's our policies on this? And we can call or email our support that way. One kind of unique, we have two kind of unique ways we provide support. One is we have a fantastic AI assistant that it's super cool. Essentially think about like ChatGPT, except we fed it all the information about your business and all the information about Real Broker. And I literally go there all the time, like, hey, where can I find the ICA? And boom, it gives me that. Or what's Real's policy on this? How much commission did I earn last year? What's my average commission? You can ask it questions about your business, and it pulls it up. And I feel like this is I use it for support a lot. And then every transaction we have, you create a file in there, and we have something very similar to SkySlope that we built ourselves. And what I love is that every file is going to have a chat dialog that opens up automatically with your broker, where you can ask them questions about that file. They can ask you questions. And this is kind of my primary place I go to for support when I have questions about a transaction. And we added a new feature to that where you can call your broker directly from that file. And if you do that, so on the app, it's going to be a phone call button. That's this button right here. If you call from this number about the file, they're going to record the phone call, create a transcript of it, and use AI to create a summary of it, and then post that recording and summary in that chat dialogue. So you can go back and listen to that phone call again that you have at your broker about that specific transaction. And then all of that gets saved right here in this chat dialogue for that specific transaction. Super cool, super convenient. And yeah, so those are kind of the main ways that we get support. It's just mainly phone calls, emails, texts, that kind of stuff. All right, let's talk about technology. What kind of tech does eXp have that you guys are using? I think like the apps is something relatively new that we didn't have last time we did one of these agent debate videos.
Yeah, so we have our own app, of course. And you can go in. I'm just pulling it up right now, and you can go in there, show mine. So you can see, you can look at your earnings, your team, your eXp solutions. You can look at everything in here, your reports, everything. So what's really cool about it is, like, if you want to go into your earnings, you can see who your sponsors are for your downline. You can see how many people you have in that. You can go through all of these things, which is really interesting and helpful, because I know the previous company that you and I were involved with, like, it was always like, okay, am I at my cap? Am I not at my cap? Like I just pulled this up and it's like, okay, you're capped, right? This is how much you've done. It's really super cool. It's very easy, makes it simple. We use KV Core. Every agent has access to KV Core. It's a CRM for somebody who doesn't know what KV Core is, and it's a part of our program. You want to use that as your database, but you can also get lead gen through that if you pay extra for it. It's something if you want that. And we use SkySlope for our contract management. That's how we submit everything to eXp for compliance. You can also use that the same way with DigiSign. You pay extra for DigiSign on that, but it's like DocuSign, but you can do everything. All the forms are in there and everything is just very easy to use and upload it right into the system. Of course, we talked about eXp World in length. We also just partnered with Sisu. Sisu is a management system for your contracts. So for example, you can put in there all sorts of checklists that you want to have in there, and it moves things from one to B. So let's just say you had like a team or even yourself. You can go in there and set your goals in there, how many contacts you want to have, how many contracts you want to have, how many phone calls you want to make. I mean, even if it was like how many headstands you want to do in a day, and you just go in and you log it. It's an app that comes on your phone as well. And you just log it right in, everything. And it moves like through the program. It keeps you very efficient. I did pay for Sisu before Sisu was a part of eXp, which is funny that I was a part of that before. So when they went to Sisu, I was like, that's awesome. And then we partnered with Canva. So Canva is a really a platform that people use for, making flyers, newsletters, even, social media posts, all kinds of things for that. So it's something that now we don't have to pay for. So these are the main ones that we use.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I can kind of run through some of our software. And what's interesting is I think the companies have taken two different approaches to software. And Gary Keller used to talk about this, that you can use what Gary Keller used to call it bolt-on technology, where you have these different companies that you're getting technology from, and you kind of integrate them all into your main platform. Or the other route is what Keller Williams has done and what Real Broker has done, where we hire our own developers and we build our own software from scratch. And so that's the route that Real's gone. We have over, I talked to Pritesh, the CTO, recently. So we have over 100 developers and engineers and programmers building out our technology at this company. And so our main platform is called reZen, Real Estate Zen. And this is going to be your hub where you can submit contracts, see all the stats about all your business, your rev share, your stock, all of that in here. And what I really like about it is just how seamless it is, because all this software is built. It's just one login. You get access to everything. So we don't use SkySlope. We did like 4 years ago. We have something that we built that looks very similar to it. We're able to add a couple of features to that. We have our own digital signature software program called a Real Signature. So this would be equivalent to your DigiSign that you guys are using. We have an amazing agent app, and I love this thing so much. So let me show you a little bit more of it as well, but it's just very beautifully designed. And like you're pointing out before, like you can just see all the stats about your business and how close you are to capping, stocks that you receive, how much rev share that you've earned. It's just like really beautifully designed. They're really easy to understand. You can see every transaction that you have. You get access to our AI assistant right here to get access to information about your business, get support from that. We also have our own marketing center that we've built from scratch. And so you guys have Canva. We have our own in-house marketing center where you can design postcards and flyers and things like that. We have a lot of templates in there. And then you guys have KV Core. We have a partnership with Lofty, and Lofty is usually $500 a month. If you're a member of Real, you can get it for $40 a month. So huge savings. And we have made this optional. And this is how we got why we don't have any monthly fees, is because this is optional. And we realize like some people have been using Boomtown or KV Core or whatever for years. They don't want to use the company CRM. So that's why we've made this optional. And yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the core of our technology. There's those main platforms. We have some other stuff in there as well. We have a financial planning tool and some other partnership stuff, but that's kind of the core of our technology. So what was the next section we're going to talk about? How about rev share? I haven't covered that yet. And eXp just made some really big updates to their rev share 2.0. And I'm actually a little confused by that. So this would be really educational for me. I think
it really is not. It's really not as difficult as I think it makes it sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the rev share, they had their tiers. Okay, you had your tiers before, and basically, as of July 2024, it went to where tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, you have to have 0 agents in there, right? So where you had to have 5 originally, and then you went up in the tiers, however many people you had to have in each level. What they did was they lowered the levels of tier 6, 4, 5, and 6 and 7, so that it made the upper tiers 0. So you have no qualifying agents that you have to hit in those first levels in order to get rev share and move to the next multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you're coming in tier 1 with 0, tier 2, you have to have 5 agents, but 0 qualifying agents. Does that make sense? Like where you have,
The tier 1,
and then
2,
you get
3 are automatically unlocked for you.
automatically unlocked. So what it does is it allows you to come in and start making more money right off the bat. And then they were putting in a place that if you were coming in July of 2024, you got 50% revenue share for a new agent paid out in the first year. So 50% right off the bat for any new agent coming in that you attracted to
Hold on
your
a sec.
tier.
Can you say that again?
So in July of 2024, 50%, you got 50% revenue share for any new agent payout for their first year.
What do you mean by payout?
So what you would get in your rev share, like,
Okay.
right? So you would get 50% automatically for the first year that person's in there.
Right, and it's 4,000 up to $4,000 a year, right? Is that right?
Right. Yes. And then when you cap, and it has their tiers that they go through, that you have to go through, and it does cap, right? It all caps, because if they're not bringing in dollars, if eXp is no longer collecting revenue, because at the 100% at that point, they can't share the revenue with you, because the rev share comes from sharing the revenue from the 20% that they're collecting from the agent. And once they hit the 100%, they no longer have revenue to share back to somebody.
Right. Yep.
I think that's a confusing thing for people. I think they don't understand that. I think what they think it's like, forever, right? Like this is these percentages that you get to use forever. You can make a lot of money in rev share. You can make a lot of money doing recruiting and stuff. I know that you and I have taken different paths in this. I sell real estate. That's, my path of choice. And I know that your path of choice was attracting agents, which is fantastic. It's worked really well for you and you're very good at it. And, for me, I look at it as, I have agents on my team. I have, 30 people on my downline. You have hundreds of people on your downline. But I'm still making rev share. I'm still making more money on attracting people from selling real estate than I ever made at KW, being there for 16 years.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's see if I'm interpreting this chart right. So the first 3 tiers automatically unlock. So you need 5 through 9 agents to unlock your tier 4. So, so at least 5 to unlock your tier 4, at least 10 agents to unlock your tier 5, 15 to unlock your tier 6, and then 30 plus to unlock your tier 7. This number over here, so this always kind of confused me. So top percentage of rev share pool on transactions in each tier group. So you earn 17.5% of available rev share. So is it like all the rev share goes into a pool and then you're getting 17% goes to people who had tier 1 agents? Maybe it doesn't matter, but do you know what that 17.5
really don't. I'd be very clear. I don't know exactly what is that off the people that you have, or is it a pool? I don't know. But if you want me to find out for you and you can edit this, we can do that. If not, we're good with the way it is.
Yeah. And so like my interpretation of the new rev share is that they're essentially paying out on more agents than they were before, but they're paying less. And I've heard some people say it's about half as much as they used to per agent, since they're paying out on more agents. And what does that sound about right?
I mean, I'm still making good money with it. So, I mean, to be very frank with you, I haven't looked at it in that capacity. That may be very well the truth. I've just looked at it as, I look at the rev share for me as being, like a retirement plan, bonus money, kind of a thing. So when I'm bringing in, the money that I bring in from it, I'm happy with that, right? So is it half? I don't know. I really don't know the stats on that. I have not heard that. But again, I'm not in the business of recruiting. I'm in the business of selling houses.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm still in production, by the way.
I know you are, but like I know that you're heavier
Not
on
my
that side,
focus.
right? Like
Yeah.
I always thought like recruiting was like would be a really fun thing to do, and then I quickly learned that it really wasn't me. Like it
Yeah.
just really wasn't who I am, and so therefore I stay where I am, where I'm happy, and what I do best.
And honestly, like I think like 85% of both companies don't receive any rev share whatsoever. So both
No,
companies, is the vast majority of agents don't get rev share.
yeah,
And so if somebody tries to recruit you to any of these companies, be like, oh yeah, you're gonna make all this money, $1 million a year. Like, yeah, pump the brakes. It's a nice bonus. If you can earn it as a bonus, that's great.
yeah. Well, and some people have really made really great careers out of being recruiters for some companies, and I don't knock that at all. I really don't. I think that's fantastic, but I think that you have to, like you said, you're dangle the carrot, look at really what you're looking for in a brokerage, and
Mhm.
find the one that fits for that.
Yeah. And so I do like that they updated the rev share plan. And from talking to other eXp agents, my understanding is that the really top producers that have thousands of agents, they're actually going to make a little less rev share with this. But the agents that have 10, 20, 30, 50 agents, the smaller
Mhm.
networks, they're going to make more since those first three tiers are unlocked. And so let me show you.
Well, you'll make it faster, like meaning you'll get into making money faster, which is a little more appealing, right?
Mhm. And so my understanding is that eXp will give away up to 50% of their monthly revenue back to the agents in the form of revenue share. And so they're paying out on more agents, so they're hitting that cap of 50% every month. And so Real Broker, we're a little bit different. We'll pay up to 60%, but we don't always hit 60%. So we're usually be somewhere between 50 and 60% of the monthly revenue we give back to the agents. And ours is how we have ours structured is that you earn 5% of their every commission they close until they cap. So that's a maximum of $4,000 a year. And so we have 5 tiers where eXp has 7 tiers, but we also have our structure to where we pay out the most on tier 1, and then tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. I think with eXp, they pay out the most on tier 7. And yeah, so 5% of every commission until they cap, 4% of every commission until they cap for your tier 2 agents, 3% of every commission they earn until they cap for tier 3, 2% for tier 4, 1% for tier 5. We still do need to unlock your tier benefits. And so tier 1's automatically unlocked. Tier 2, you need 5 producing agents in your tier 1 to unlock your tier 2 benefits. We qualify a producing agent as somebody who earns at least a $3,000 commission every 6 months, and that'll qualify them as a producing agent. Then you need 15 to unlock your tier 3, 20 to unlock your tier 4, 25 to unlock your tier 5. And we also have, I'm going to talk about this a little later, but we actually launched a credit card and a debit card recently. And with the credit card and debit card, you earn points every time you use it. Those points are going to go towards paying down your cap and fee to the company, a Real Broker. And they said that they want to structure it so if you have enough points on your credit and debit card, that will unlock tiers of revenue share for you as well. So if you came over to Real, you could just make your credit card your main credit card, put all your expenses on it, earn points, and that'll unlock your different tier benefits as well. And yeah, I mean, this is I'm making a full-time income off of that right now. So I think it's both of them are great passive income, into your business. All right, so I think we covered a lot. Anything else? Any other unique things about eXp that you want to touch on that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, so we also have a health share or a health benefits company for health insurance. So it's called Clear Vision. I actually have Clear Vision as my health provider or health care provider, I should say, for insurance. It's great. Haven't had no problems with it. And actually, when we look at that versus how much you would have to pay for out of pocket in the network or in I don't want to say Obamacare, but it's Obamacare. We save thousands of dollars. Like I just priced it out this year, just curiosity wise. We would pay, I think it was $2,200 a month for our family of 3 for Obamacare. And we would have deductibles of like $6,500 per person. And with what we have, we pay $910 a month, and we have a maximum out of pocket per person of $2,500. So we save tremendous amounts of money. We can go to the hospital. We can get flown in a helicopter. We can do all of the things that everybody else can do. It's not restrictive. You don't have to go to certain doctors in certain buildings. Like it's really been good. We've had it for a couple of years now that we've been a part of it personally. Yeah.
That sounds really good. Yeah. So we have health insurance as well, and vision and dental. I'm a single guy. I never actually looked into it. I signed up for health insurance 10 years ago. I still got whatever I signed up for. Yeah, maybe I should actually look into that then. See if I actually save any money with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a benefit, right? It's one of the hard things for us as real estate agents and self-employed is that, you don't, unless you have a family member that is employed by somebody that's offering health insurance and they're supplementing that, it's very expensive. And so it is definitely a nice perk. Is there anything else? I mean, not really. I mean, I think they're both really great companies. I think they both have a lot of similar things, if you've said in the past, to offer. I think they both have some variances that are good, in both ways. I think they're both really amazing companies. I think that if you're going to choose one, you choose one that fits better for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a couple other unique benefits that Real has is that we do have our own mortgage company called Real Mortgage. And what's really cool is that you as an agent,
we do too.
Do you? Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay, start over.
I'm keeping this in. So,
all right, let's do it.
So with Real Mortgage, you as the agent can actually go get your loan officer license, and you can be the loan officer and the real estate agent on the same transaction. And if you do that, you earn an extra 1.25% of the loan amount as a lender. And with that, they actually have an arrangement where if you don't want to actually process the loan, we have a partner lender that can work with you, and you originate the loan. They'll do all the back end loan stuff for you. And in that scenario, you'll earn 0.5% of the loan amount. They'll earn 0.75% of the loan amount. So effectively, it's almost like a referral program for loans. You do have to get your loan officer license. And then we also have Real Title, which is our cloud-based title company. Kind of a unique value proposition to them is that they can do remote notary. So they can just hop on a video call like this and notarize documents that way and make it more convenient for your clients. And with this, we have joint venture. So you can invest in your state's title company, incentivizes you to send all your clients to it, and then they pay profits back to the investors once a quarter. All right, tell me about your mortgage company. I wasn't aware of that.
We have Success Lending. So we're we don't have what you have in the sense of that, but if you want to use Success Lending, you certainly can do that. And we also have title companies, but I don't personally use them. So I just want to say, because you brought it up, we have them too, but not of the same capacity that you have. And I will also say that our profit share is also, and this will answer your 17.5% question, is that it goes into all of the profits of eXp, Success Lending, Success Magazine, and all of that are included in that payout. So the answer would be not on just your people, it would be on all of it.
Explain that again. I'm sorry.
So our profits are shared based on all of the companies that eXp has.
Oh, cool. Okay. So it's not just on the cap from the agents. You're saying that the
profitability from, yes.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Mel, if anybody wanted to join eXp, they want to talk to you more about it, what's the best way for them to reach you?
They can call me 301-442-0154. I'm sure you'll put the information in there. You can look me up on social media, Melanie Montague, Melanie Davis Montague on Facebook if you want to get me that way. Or if Malcolm, if you'd be so kind to put my email address on the bottom somewhere, you certainly can do that. But you can find me. You can call me or you can find me online. Pretty easy.
Okay. I use some movie magic to make it appear at the bottom there.
You can do that. I mean, I could write it on a piece of paper for you. boom, 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 if you want.
25. I know how to edit a video. All right. And yeah, if you guys are interested in learning more about Real Broker, I'd be more than happy to hop on a one-on-one video call with you. I have a link in the description below to where you can schedule that call, or you can head over to next-genagents.com. You can schedule a call over there.